Welcome to Cook 30. I'm Jeremy Dixon from the Revive Cafes in Auckland, New Zealand, and also wrote the Revive Cafe cookbooks. And today I'm going to share with you some delicious cafe-style meals that you can make at home. Cook 30 food is all about using whole food ingredients. We're going to be using great protein sources like nuts, beans and lentils, whole grains like brown rice and quinoa, fresh fruit and vegetables, and tying it all together with international flavours and fresh herbs and spices. And the best part about Cook 30 food is you do not have to spend hours slaving away in the kitchen. I'm going to show you in 30 minutes how you can make a delicious, healthy meal for your family, and they will love it. On today's menu, we have a breakfast. We're going to start with some Swiss Birchur muesli and serving it with fresh wild berries. I'm going to make some nearly French toast with maple syrup, and then we're going to make our very own homemade almond butter and finish it off with everyone's favourite breakfast meal, breakfast potatoes. Okay, to make a meal in a very short time, we want to make sure we've got our kitchen ready. Nice clear work surface, good chopping board, sharp knife. We've got a pot on the stove heating up, boiling water in the jug, and our pantry and refrigerator laden with the ingredients that we're going to need for the meal. So I'm doing a breakfast this morning, and this isn't the type of breakfast you perhaps have every single day, but something you might have on a Sunday, and you might have invite some friends around and have a special breakfast. Or there's components of it that you can use during the week when you generally have a faster breakfast. But the most important thing, of course, and everyone knows, is you must have breakfast. It's a really important meal and has amazing health benefits if you have it. First job is the breakfast potatoes. These are going to take a while to cook, so we want to make sure we get them in the pot straight away and cooking really, really fast. So I've got some potatoes here, and I generally like getting potatoes that are pre-washed. So we probably want around about a kilogram all up of potatoes, and also sweet potato, just another little nice ingredient to add to it, just to give it a bit of extra flavour. So we're just going to chop these up and cube them, and as small as we can, so they cook really quickly. And again, when you're chopping, make sure you economise on all your cuts. So you're chopping more than one bit at a time. If you cut it in quarters and then chop every individual piece like that, it's going to take you about 3 times as long to cut your vegetables. So always look for shortcuts and time-saving techniques. So you can choose any potato you like. There's many different varieties out there. But the thing that makes this just a little bit more special is a sweet potato. So about probably a third of your ingredients you want to be the sweet potato. And again, cut this. You can cut this one a little bit thicker because the sweet potato is quicker to cook. So if we put this all in together, it should technically be ready at about the same time. So big chunks of the sweet potato, small chunks of the normal potato. Boiled the jug before, put it into a pot. I'm going to turn the heat up as high as we can to get that boiling really fast. We want it to come to the boil really quickly so we've got no delays and everything becoming cooked. So I'll just throw these in here. I generally don't salt things when I'm cooking them, generally salt them afterwards, so I just put it straight in like that. Lid on, and when that comes to the boil, we'll just turn it down so it's bubbling reasonably steadily. So that's the first job done. The potatoes are on. So now we're going to make the Swiss Birchur muesli, and this is a delicious breakfast you can make. And people have told me, by making it in my cookbooks, that this particular recipe has changed their life. By starting out the night before and making this delicious muesli, or granola, they're woken up every morning to start a really yummy and healthy breakfast. So if it's something you can work into your daily routine, you'll have amazing health benefits. Normally you make this sit overnight, but we've got half an hour, and this is generally long enough for it to soak and taste great. So first ingredient is oats, or oatmeal, and we're just going to use quick oats. So we're going to put a cup of quick oats, and quick oats are the same as normal oats, except they've just been cut down so they're really small, and this will make it faster for all the ingredients to soak in. I'm going to add some raisins, so about half a cup of raisins, and these will plump in nicely as well. And it's always nice to have something crunchy in here. So we've got some slivered almonds. It's probably about 1/4 cup of slivered almonds. And that's a great protein source. And one of the specialnesses about this that'll really make a difference is orange juice. And just juice these oranges. You can use packet orange juice if you really have to, but make sure you get a good quality, one, not one that's all processed from concentrate. This orange juice just soaks up into these oats and you get this wonderful sweet orange flavour coming through. So you probably want around about 3/4 cup. Again, these type of recipes are reasonably flexible. As you can tell, I'm not measuring ingredients. But yeah, just put the measurements in like that. And that'll be soaked up really quickly in those oats. I'm going to add some milk. And choose your favourite milk. My favourite milk at the moment is almond milk. But I love, oat milk, soy milk, any of the great plant-based milks is fine. I think this requires 1 cup, about 1/2 to 1 cup, like that. And we want some apple, and this is what makes it even more special, is grated apple. And this apple just adds a really nice kind of mushiness in your mouth when you eat it. So this is a real pleasure to eat. You've got lots of, not just the flavour sensations, but all the textural sensations when you're eating it. Make it a really special dish. You could grate this in the food processor, but because it's just 1 apple, it's probably quicker just to quickly do it on a hand box grater. Just keep grating till it comes down to the seeds. Put that in, don't forget to get all the lovely juice. And we're just going to stir that up. Oh, one ingredient, we need some almond meal. Here it is, some almond meal. So we want around about 1/2 cup of this, and this will just add a lovely creaminess to this meal, to this dish. So there's all the ingredients in, and we're just going to stir it up. And it looks reasonably boring now, but when all those lovely juices and the oats start to expand and become lovely. The potatoes are boiling, just going to turn those down, just probably about halfway. So they're still boiling, but they don't need to be aggressively boiling. Now I might just add a little bit more milk. It's looking good at the moment, but as the oats soak up all that moisture, it's going to become a lot more less runny. So I'll just add a little bit more. There we go. So you want it to be quite a bit runnier than you'd think you'd need it, because it's going to thicken up. So we're just going to pop that in the fridge, and in 25 minutes or so, that'll be just beautiful. So for the almond butter, we want to use some almonds, and I've got 2 cups of almonds here, and it's really nice when they're roasted. So I'm just going to briefly pan fry them, just to warm them up and just let those oils start to kind of, the flavours come out. Just putting them in a very medium pot or pan, and we're just going to let those just lightly just get warmed. So just a touch of oil, just so they don't burn. Just a very, very small touch, don't need much. Around that. And these will just become really nice, and they'll just unlock some beautiful flavours by the time we come to make the butter. Okay, time to make the nearly French toast. Now, French toast is traditionally made with egg, usually a lot of butter and those type of things. This is a really healthy way. So what we're going to do is make our French toast mix. I'm going to start with some cashew nuts, and we're going to use 1/4 cup. That's probably a good handful. It's not too many, just a few more. We're going to put in a cup of water. And you can use a stick blender or a blender or even a food processor for this, something that's going to blend it up very well. Just 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla essence, just a couple of drops. We're going to put in a tablespoon of honey, a bit of sweetness, just 1/4 teaspoon of salt, And one thing that's going to make it nice and yellow is turmeric. So we just want just a real pinch, which is about 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is about that much. And that'll just go in there and just give it a lovely yellow colour. Lid on, and start blending. Just check these almonds over here. Looking good. Going to heat up a little bit. And the potatoes and the sweet potato are going well as well. So there we go, all blended up. So we've got a really, really watery mix. It looks like it's too watery. This will actually thicken up when we cook it. So all we do now is get some bread, and I've got some great whole grain, 100% whole wheat bread. Don't eat white bread. White bread is just processed horribleness. So what we're going to do now is tip this into a bowl, and we're just going to just lightly fry them up. So I quite like triangles when I have French toast, so cut them into triangles. And all we're going to do now is just position the French toast near the pan. There we go. Just an absolute touch of oil. If you've got a good non-stick fry pan, you don't need to bathe these in lots of oil. And we're just going to dip these in here and just put them, dip them in quickly. Don't want to stay for too long. And just put them in the pan. Might just turn that up a bit. It'll start sizzling shortly. Just a couple of seconds just so it soaks up a little bit without soaking up a lot. You can use squares, whatever shape you want. And they'll take not long per side at all. As you can see, starting to cook nicely. See, they're just starting to, even just in a couple of seconds, they're just starting to brown. And that just little bit of turmeric comes out. You can't even see it in the mixture, but just a little bit of turmeric just adds just lovely colour. These nuts, how are these going? I might just turn up the pan a bit. Got to keep turning them or else they start burning. And you can hear them kind of clicking, which means they're starting to cook. Might turn it down a bit actually. I think they're probably ready to turn. Look at that. I'll try this one here. So they don't need much cooking at all. It's worth investing in a really good non-stick fry pan. You can get some non-Teflon based ones. There's lots of really good brands out there. And again, like anything I recommend, go and invest and buy probably the most expensive one you can afford and get one really good frying pan. I see too many kitchens with like 10, $20 fry pans in them that just don't work and just to be thrown out when you can just get one really good one that will last you, almost all your life if you spend your money. So with any kind of a kitchen equipment, you really just want to get one good item rather than continually buying all the cheap items. There we go, coming on nicely. So we'll just get ready for some more of these. We probably want about 8, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the breakfast size we're making today is probably for around about 4 to 8 people, depending on how much you eat. And also you can make different components for yourself during the week if you want to. So obviously you may need to adjust the quantities depending on how many people, but it's lovely on a Sunday morning, sun streaming in, have some friends around for breakfast. It's a great meal occasion. So we'll just leave those there. All of those are almost ready. So we'll just keep an eye on those and do another batch shortly. On Cook 30 today we have a delicious breakfast. We're starting with a Swiss Birchur muesli served with fresh wild berries. We have nearly French toast with maple syrup, and we're going to make our very own homemade almond butter, and finishing off with everyone's breakfast favourite, breakfast potatoes. Okay, let's start the breakfast potatoes. I think these are nearly done. Look Look at that, they're nice and soft. So I'm just going to drain these through a colander. Just let those sit for a couple of minutes just to drain out. And we better start some onions. So this pan is nice and hot. So we're going to put some red onions in to start with, and just probably one red onion or half a big one. And we're just going to cut it into slices. Just a nice shape to blend with these potatoes. So just about reasonably thin and into nice half moon shape, so they're nice and stringy, and they'll kind of wrap themselves around nicely. So I want to get them in the pan. Put in a touch of oil, a tablespoon of oil. Just give those a bit of a whip around, give them a bit of a head start before we put the potatoes in, so they start to brown or get cooked. Just going to put in a squeeze of garlic. So just 1 clove of garlic into your garlic press, skin on, and just squeeze it in like that. You don't need a lot, just a little bit, just to add a little touch of flavour. And the potatoes, so these are all lovely and drained. We're going to put them in as well. And we're just going to put a little bit of salt over them, probably about half to 1 teaspoon. And they'll just start, all the flavours will start combining nicely. So there's no extra things in there, just potatoes, onions, a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt. And that makes them just really amazing. So we'll just stir those shortly when the onions get a head start. Okay, I think the nuts are done. Look at that. A little bit of burning, but that's okay. But you can see they kind of swell up and they become nice and roasted. So they just have a different flavour. It's really nice when you make a butter. Okay, I think it's time to get some of these out of the pan. And we'll just put another batch of these guys on. I'll arrange those later. Just put them there. The oven on, the stove on, pan on. I'm just going to soak these in here. Just a touch more oil. So when you're using oil in a fry pan, you only need just literally a drop. We don't want to, put an inch of oil in there and deep fry everything. Another batch of these. These are really quick. Make sure you give them a good chance to soak up some of the lovely French toast mixture, but without drowning them totally. And they'll happily fry away there. This is ready to give a bit of a stir. Turn that up, I think we'll give it a bit of, put it on high for a bit. As you can see, you've got really nice colours coming through. You've got the potatoes, the nice orange sweet potato, and the red onions underway. So let's make the almond butter. So get a food processor, and this won't work with a blender, you need to have a food processor. So we're going to get our almonds here, which have all nice and toasted. Put them in. Better turn that gas off. And we're going to put in a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to put in about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. I'll start with 1 tablespoon. This is just so it can blend well. And basically, start it. And at first it looks like that's just chopped nuts, but eventually that'll just keep going and will turn it into almond butter. So at this stage, have a look, see it just looks like chopped nuts. So that's how it's at the moment, but if we keep blending, it'll start going beautifully. So let's keep it going. Can take a minute or two sometimes. In the meantime, I think we better flip some of these guys here. French toast, getting lovely and golden. Look at that. I'll turn it up just a touch. And I'll give these a bit of a stir. Looking fantastic. So those onions will start to keep cooking. Smelling amazing. That's underway. Let's have a look how this is going. Okay, look at that. I think we're nearly there. Oh no, it's still, see how it's still kind of a bit crumbly? So to fix that, we'll probably put in our second tablespoon of oil. Try not to add too much oil if you need to, but this will just help it finish it off. I might actually just spoon down the sides as well, get it all mixing together. You can also use, there's some really good kind of screw juices you can get that can do the same job, where you put it in and it kind of grinds it together. That's another way of making it, but most people don't have those, so that's why a food processor like this is ideal. So that's going. I'm going to do the berries. So from the fridge, we'll get some berries. And the good thing about berries is you don't need any prep at all. We've got strawberries, raspberries and blueberries. So when it's summer and these fruits are around, make sure you have lots of them. They're really, really good for you. Just going to grab a bowl and just put them in and give them a mix around, just like that. They just really blend together perfectly with the colours. The strawberries, just take off the ends and just put them in as well. So you've kind of got the tartness of the raspberries and the strawberries, the sweetness of the blueberries. This will go really nice with the fresh sweet, the French toast, and also the lovely Birchur muesli. Give it a bit of a toss up like that. So you want everything to be nicely spread out there. And of course, a lovely herb to put on top is some mint. So just got some mint here, we'll just chop up, just pull off any long ends. Don't need much, even just a couple of leaves can really transform a dish. And those berries will be wonderful on the French toast and the Birchur muesli, so they're ready to go. So, how's the almond butter behaving? Looking pretty good. As you can see in there, it is now looking like peanut butter. So to extract that, we'll just get a nice container, and all we're going to do is just get it out like that and put it in the bowl, and that is how you make your very own almond butter. It's really amazing when you look in the ingredients and some butters you buy, even some almond butters and peanut butters, is some of them are loaded with preservatives, with stabilisers, with sugar. So yeah, making your own is actually works out a lot cheaper and is far more satisfying and healthier for you. So there you go, that'll spread beautifully. You will have it on the French toast, or obviously, you know, that'll last a couple of weeks in the refrigerator. And you can say you've made your very own almond butter. Give these guys a bit of a stir. There we go. So the breakfast is coming along well. The berries are done. The French toast is nearly done. We've done the almond butter. And let's check on the Birchur. Should be in the fridge here. Look at that. Now, as I said, ideally you do want to leave this to go overnight, but even look, in 25 minutes or so, that's getting lovely and soft. At this stage, if it's a bit too hard, you just add a little bit more milk, and then it's ready to go. Just go and grab a bowl to put it in. Just like that. So you can make this ahead of time, say on a Sunday night, make say 3 breakfasts worth, put it in the fridge, and Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday you've got your breakfast all sorted. And that's full of, you've got your protein with your nuts, you've got your whole grains with your oats, so it's just a great way to have breakfast. Now on top it's quite nice to have some more sliced almonds, so some bit of crunch on top, like that. And that is ready for the table. Breakfast is coming together nicely. So we'll probably flip some of this French toast, put that on the platter. Oh, that bit might need a little bit more. Look how nice and golden brown it goes. Now these guys here, I'm just going to serve straight from this pan. It's a cast iron pan, which are really nice, my favourite way of cooking. And yeah, it's just lovely. Just going to garnish with some parsley. And just to show you how I keep my herbs in the fridge, keep them wrapped in a paper towel, wet paper towel, and they just end up staying for, often you can get a week or even longer out of it. So we're just going to cut a little bit of parsley on top and throw it over. And everything is pretty much ready to serve at the table. And there you have a healthy, delicious breakfast in 30 minutes. Starting with this Birchur Swiss muesli. You've got that beautiful softness of the oats, the crunchiness of the nuts, and the plumpness of the sultanas coming through. Delicious. Add some fresh fruit, and this is an amazing way to start your day. We've got the French toast. You can have it with berries or with the breakfast potatoes. Lots of flavour bursting through. This is a great breakfast that you can share with some friends on a Sunday morning, or just use components through the week. Thank you for joining me today in Cook 30. I hope you've learnt some new skills, and I really look forward to joining you next time.